Hi, I'm Clinton Jones, Michigan State University College Hall of Fame in football and track and field, and also National College Football Hall of Fame. We were national champions in 1965 and 1966. You're watching Duffy Doherty's Milestone Minutes with Tom Shanahan. Go Green!
I had the privilege of joining a recent Zoom call with Ken Burns through the National Sports Media Association. Burns, of course, is the Babe Ruth of documentaries. His latest film he's promoting on Muhammad Ali airs on PBS in 4 parts, September 19th to 22nd. I wasn't sure I was going to ask a question until Burns hit a trigger. He discussed sifting through myths during research. Quote, we tend to resort to conventional, superficial understandings, tying things up into nice bows, unquote. Well, that sums up what I've written in Ray of Light, my book with Jimmy Ray on Michigan State coach Duffy Doherty's 1960s teams that led college football integration, and on my website, tomshanahan.report. I write about the injustice of myths and fiction enshrouding Bear Bryant and the 1970 USC Alabama game, reducing the true 1960s pioneers to footnotes. So I sent in my question to Dave Gorin, a pro, the executive director of the National Sports Media Association. Dave presented the question to Ken Burns. Ken seemed aware of Michigan State's story.
Tom Shanahan says, I wrote a book, Ray of Light, on Michigan State coach Duffy Doherty's Underground Railroad teams in the 1960s, leading college football integration. The frustration with continuing to tell that story is much of the reality has been overshadowed by myths and fiction around Bear Bryant and the 1970 game that ties into a bow. What's your advice? Just keep plowing ahead. I have a
just keep plowing ahead. I this is not the same thing, but it's kind of the Larry Doby problem. It's really hard once it's happened to then try to refocus attention on these things. But this is a really important story to tell and to understand. This is particularly now because, as I was saying before, race is central to our story. Race, race, race. And a lot of people don't like that. And a lot of people don't want to hear about it. And even, when Obama was elected, a lot of people, friends and scholars and critics would just say, now will you shut up? And I held up the Onion magazine, newspaper, for January 20th, 2009, the day he was inaugurated. And it said, black man given worst job in nation. And I just said, just watch what happens. Just watch what happens. And, almost to a person, those biggest, most vociferous critics, both friends and colleagues and critics and scholars, have come back just to sincerely apologize, going, you're right, And look at us now. I mean, it's just a mess. And, stuff, the Supreme Court undoing Voting Rights Act. I mean, it's just... This is the most fraught. I think this is the most dangerous period. I mean, the three great crises before the Civil War, the Depression, and World War II were great. This is the biggest threat to our existence, existential threat to our existence.
So, share this video with any friends. Tell them Duffy Doherty, his players, and the Southern Black high school coaches during segregation that sent Duffy players were the ones that led the way. Michigan State's leadership also opened doors in the South for players like Darrell Hill at Maryland, 1963. Jerry Levias, Southern Methodist, 1965. Wilbur Hackett and his three Kentucky teammates, 1966 and 1967. Lester McLean at Tennessee, 1967. And James Owens at Auburn, 1969. They blazed the trails that made the 1970 USC Alabama game possible. Thank you, Mr. Burns. I'll keep plowing ahead. And that makes this the perfect time to share some promising news. Gary Gerner, a Writers Guild of America member, has been at work adapting Ray of Light into a screenplay. Stay tuned.